This is one of the most outrageous things I have heard in a long, long time.
In a case that has been filled with...
And looks at Wendy and says, you know, you had a great career. Your career is over. It is never coming back. You're done.
You will not get away with trying to pull off having two families, you dirty...
Kevin Hunter's empire didn't just crumble, it exploded right in front of everyone's eyes. The man who once strutted through TV studios dripping in fur and flexing fancy cars, the so-called mastermind behind Wendy Williams' talk show throne, is now drowning in lawsuits, debt, and straight-up humiliation. After years of living big off the fortune his ex-wife built, Kevin's luxury life is being ripped apart piece by piece.
He was with me, begging forgiveness, telling me to take a moment, and he would see it, and we were meant to be together. And I sacrificed a lot of myself to come out successful on the other side.
Court papers from 2023 spilled the tea. He fell behind on homeowners' fees, maxed out his credit cards, and even got dragged into court by a bank for over $20,000. It's a downfall that feels like karma came knocking loud and clear, just as Wendy starts shining again in the spotlight. The timing couldn't be messier. While Kevin's name keeps showing up in filings for unpaid bills and car repossessions, Wendy Williams...
And I told myself I wasn't going to do this.
It's one of the best things, honestly, that could have ever happened to me. Just about the whole 13 years that they were together, and people behind the scenes say...
Once called unfit to handle her own life, shows up front row at Laquan Smith's New York Fashion Week. September 25, cameras go wild as she waves at fans, face glowing, hair on point. She looks like a queen taking back her throne, while her ex's empire turns to dust. Just a few years ago, the roles were flipped. Wendy was the one hidden away, saying she was stuck in a luxury prison. Kevin kept pretending everything was sweet, posting quotes about success, showing off cars, and bragging about his thing with Sharina Hudson. But now, that silence from him says it all. His last move crumbled when a New Jersey judge ruled Wendy didn't have to pay him alimony again, and that hit him like a wrecking ball. Those checks were his lifeline. $37,500 a month straight from Wendy's hard-earned empire. When the money stopped flowing, Kevin ran straight to court in 2022 crying financial hardship. He claimed he couldn't cover his homeowner's fees, insurance, or even his credit cards. The judge didn't waste words. The message was clear. None of that was Wendy's problem. That ruling didn't just shut down his appeal. It exposed how deep he'd been living off her even after the split. Behind the curtain, insiders say the decision threw his personal life into total chaos. Sharina Hudson, once showing off that soft life lifestyle, allegedly panicked when the cash dried up. Sources close to the pair claim she started hustling for income through lifestyle branding, vegan cooking, and even small-time real estate flips. But none of it brought in enough to keep their Florida dream alive. By mid-2025, their luxury home was listed for sale, and creditors were coming in hot. When Kevin started unloading his stuff, including two pricey cars that reportedly ended up with a financing firm in Idaho, rumors flew that Sharina had dipped out. His Instagram, once filled with her selfies and luxury shots, suddenly went blank except for a few business posts. Weeks later, whispers spread that she was trying to come back, but the damage was already done. Meanwhile, Wendy's comeback was pure drama in motion. Just months earlier, she was still fighting the guardianship that had her locked down in a Manhattan assisted living facility. The court had labeled her legally incapacitated, but when she showed up at Fashion Week, she looked fierce, sharp, confident, and ready to talk. In phone interviews, she didn't hold back, calling the facility a dump and a messed up situation. Wendy was furious about being stuck on a floor full of elderly residents. She said she could only make outgoing calls and couldn't even receive messages. On top of that, her court-appointed guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, allegedly blocked her from using her iPad, the one she used to listen to her old radio shows. Those aren't the words of a woman who's lost touch. They're the words of someone fighting to be heard. While Wendy's fans started pushing the Free Wendy movement, Kevin tried flipping her battle into his own spotlight. In June 2024, he filed a massive federal lawsuit accusing the guardianship system of corruption, calling it fraudulent bondage, and demanding a wild $250 million payout to split between him and Wendy. Legal experts tore Kevin's lawsuit to shreds, calling it straight up delusional since he had zero legal right to sue on Wendy's behalf. The case was dead on arrival, but out in public, it set off major questions about his real intentions. Was Kevin genuinely trying to fight for Wendy's freedom or just chasing another payday now that the alimony checks stopped rolling in? Their messy past makes that question impossible to ignore. Kevin met Wendy back in the mid-90s, slid into a life as a manager, and somehow climbed into a producer role without any solid credentials to back it up. People who worked on the Wendy Williams show described him as bossy, loud, and straight up intimidating. Kevin strutted through that studio like he ran the place, but when his marriage blew up in 2019 after his longtime affair with Sharina Hudson became public, the empire crashed overnight. Wendy didn't hold back. She filed for divorce, kicked him off the show, and erased his name from every company paper she could find. Months later, Sharina gave birth to a baby girl, and the new couple started living large off Wendy's fortune like it would never end. Now, insiders say that whole setup is completely falling apart. Sharina's soft life glow has dimmed big time. She used to flood her socials with fancy brunches and beach trips. Now it's just short clips promoting vegan recipes and modest real estate hustles. Industry voices in Florida say she's been grinding to stay above water. Some even whisper that she's been reaching out to old contacts and maybe even reconnecting with Kevin after a long break. If that's true, it's wild. A full circle twist where the woman who once helped wreck a marriage might be back with the man who can't pay his own bills. Whether they're reunited or not, one thing's crystal clear: their fantasy lifestyle has gone up in flames. Wendy's story just keeps getting more tragic and more surreal. Since 2022, her every move, dollar, and decision has been controlled by court order. It all started when Wells Fargo claimed she was of unsound mind and froze her accounts, which led a judge to hand over control to guardian Sabrina Morrissey, a move her family still fights to overturn. In 2024, the Lifetime doc Where is Wendy Williams showed her looking lost and painfully alone in her apartment, and it broke hearts everywhere.
But lately, Wendy's been stepping back into the light with fire and focus. She told radio hosts, "I'm not cognitively impaired," and her publicist, Shanti, swears she's as sharp as ever. Even her old producer says she's the strongest she's been in years. Every time Wendy shows up in public, it feels like a bold message, proof that she still knows exactly who she is. Kevin, on the other hand, looks like he's unraveling fast. The court rejections have made it clear his whole life was built on Wendy's fame and fortune. Every post-divorce project he's tried, a publishing company, a wellness brand, even a podcast, has gone completely silent. By June 2025, fans spotted his Florida property listed way below market value, a sign that financial trouble's closing in fast. Creditors have been hitting him hard with court orders for unpaid fees. He's mostly kept quiet, occasionally dropping vague posts about faith and resilience. That loud, cocky energy he once flaunted is gone, replaced with straight-up silence. The irony is wild. The man who once ran Wendy's career, managed her bank accounts and shaped her image, can't even keep his own finances together. The woman he built his new life with might be long gone, and the woman he once called incapacitated is now the only one still standing strong in the spotlight. Every new picture of Wendy stepping out, smiling in high-end designer looks, feels like a direct reflection of Kevin's downfall. Fans online can't stop talking about it. One viral comment nailed it: "She's smiling while he's selling cars." No one knows if Wendy's seen the chatter herself, but insiders say she stays plugged into entertainment news on her tablet and reacts with cool, calm amusement. Now the legal chaos around Wendy's guardianship might be ready to explode again. Court tapers from last summer show Kevin accusing the presiding judge of political bias, claiming she took donations from lawyers linked to Wells Fargo. The claims were never proven, but they showed how personal and obsessive his mission has become. People close to Wendy believe Kevin still views himself as either her savior or her next paycheck. They say his financial collapse could push him to sneak back into her world, hoping to benefit off her story again. Meanwhile, whispers suggest Sharina's rumored attempt to reconnect might not be about love, it might be pure survival. With their money drying up and Wendy's estate still trapped in court, both of them could be desperate to reattach themselves to the same story that once made them rich. That's when the whispers started to grow louder. Some insiders claim Kevin's money meltdown isn't just a personal mess, it's part of a deeper, dirtier web, the kind of chaos that doesn't just ruin reputations, it exposes entire systems. Industry gossip says his financial troubles might be directly tied to Wendy's ongoing guardianship battle, and that his so-called fight to set her free might have really been about getting access to her frozen fortune. That theory's been circling quietly through media circles. Kevin wasn't suing from pride, he was suing out of pure panic, because behind that guardianship sits a mountain of cash, millions in TV checks, royalties, and locked-up assets that no one outside the system can touch. The same money Kevin once controlled, the same funds Sharina allegedly relied on to keep her luxury lifestyle going. When those accounts froze, their dream life cracked wide open. So when Kevin dropped that wild $250 million lawsuit against Wendy's guardian and the banks tied to her case, people saw it for what it really was, a desperate last swing at a fortune slipping through his fingers. Some believe something way darker is going on, a man trying to drag Wendy's entire legal setup down with him just to prove a point or make sure nobody rises if he falls. Former crew members from the Wendy Williams show are finally breaking their silence now that the dust is settled. One insider spilled on a podcast that Kevin always acted like the show was his, not Wendy's. They painted a picture of secret meetings, sudden firings, and shady production deals that vanished into thin air, a full-blown pattern of control. When you line that up next to his current mess, lawsuits, unpaid loans, frozen accounts, and even eviction drama, it all fits together too perfectly. This isn't just a guy falling on hard times, it's his whole empire collapsing brick by brick. Meanwhile, Wendy's guardianship has people side-eyeing the whole situation. The same court that labeled her unfit somehow keeps letting her accounts drain to cover luxury living expenses, sky-high security, constant legal fees, and non-stop bills. We've seen this kind of setup before in Hollywood, the kind that's supposed to protect someone but ends up looking more like a profit plan. People are starting to ask the real question, who's actually winning from Wendy's restricted freedom? Kevin insists it's not her. Last year, he told a reporter this system is corrupt to its bones, but his own money mess makes that claim sound real suspicious. If Wendy got her freedom back, so would her finances, and guess who'd probably be first in line? To benefit. His motives look shaky at best, especially now that Sharina's gone completely silent. After years of flaunting her lifestyle online, she's disappeared. Posts wiped, comments locked, and her business is fading fast. That silence makes everything feel even more suspicious. A former acquaintance told a Florida gossip blogger that Sharina just couldn't handle the pressure anymore, saying she'd been cut off financially and even had to sell her jewelry just to keep up. None of that's confirmed, but the timing lines up perfectly with Kevin's loan defaults and desperate asset sales. If that's true, it shows two people trapped by their own downfall, while the woman they once wronged is finally standing strong again.
And then there's Wendy's only son, the one she's always defended. Rumors once swirled that he used her credit cards to rent luxury spots in Miami. Wells Fargo's first guardianship filing mentioned financial exploitation concerns without dropping names, but several outlets hinted that family tension might have been part of what pushed the court to take control of her money in the first place. Sources tied to former production staff say Kevin tried to twist those same papers to make it seem like Wendy was surrounded by manipulators, trying to paint himself as the one who truly understood her. But if that was ever real, then why do all these moves keep coming back to the same thing? Her money. Industry lawyers say this whole mess has blown way past being just a celebrity divorce. It's become a masterclass in power, control, and money. When someone famous loses their grip, guardianships like Wendy's rarely end, one attorney explained. They just shift, evolve, and stretch on, always under the mask of care. That line hits hard. It exposes how influence can quietly disappear behind closed courtroom doors. Kevin's lawsuit might have been reckless, but it cracked open a chilling question about how this system really works. What happens when the fame fades, but the money keeps flowing? Who gets control of the fortune when the star can't speak for themselves? And why do the same people claiming to protect Wendy also seem to benefit from keeping her quiet? Those questions are hanging heavy, and the silence surrounding them keeps getting louder. As time passes, more names keep surfacing. Old business managers, assistants, and even lawyers who once handled Wendy's biggest deals. Some have been subpoenaed in unrelated cases, while others have suddenly gone mum, refusing to go on record. Insiders whisper that huge revelations could drop if federal investigators ever dig into the money trail behind Wendy's guardianship. If that happens, Kevin's downfall might end up just being a piece of a way bigger explosion, one that could expose not only his greed, but the hidden machine that profits from celebrity collapse. The tabloids already have a name for it, the Wendy Web, a twisted network of everyone who once had strings tied to her ex-husband, her guardian, bank insiders, TV producers, even some family members. Each one has their own version of events, their own justifications, and their own slice of guilt. Now that Kevin's reputation is in ashes, a lot of those same people are scrambling to clean up their own image before the spotlight turns their direction. We've seen this Hollywood playbook before. When the puppet master falls, everyone else suddenly claims they were just trying to help. It's the oldest trick in the book. Sharina's rumored attempts to reconnect with Kevin might just be part of that same PR scramble. Some insiders believe she's trying to reposition herself before the next wave of headlines hits, especially now that the public's turned on both of them. Others say she's quietly stockpiling receipts, texts, emails, and old records to cut a deal if the legal mess circles back around. Whatever the truth is, it all screams one word: panic. The once golden couple of scandal has been reduced to pure survival mode. The same duo who used to flex matching cars and a mansion are now allegedly buried in debt and hoping the noise dies down before it gets any louder. Through all the chaos, Wendy's voice keeps breaking through, like a ghost cutting through static. "I'm not crazy, I'm not gone," she said in a recorded phone call last year. Her words came out shaky but burned with that old fire, part anger, part warning. Whether it was clarity or pure defiance, it sounded like a message to everyone who ever doubted her. And maybe that's what really haunts Kevin now. After all his lawsuits, rants, and desperate public claims, he knows Wendy still holds the one thing he can't ever buy back: her audience's love. If that guardianship ever cracks and Wendy wins back even a piece of control over her money, the story could flip overnight. Just imagine the headlines: Wendy Williams, free at last. The talk show legend staging the ultimate comeback, reclaiming the fortune everyone tried to manage for her. For Kevin and Sharina, that kind of return wouldn't just be embarrassing, it could be dangerous. Once the financial audits start, some motives might start looking real different. We're standing at a wild turning point in this saga. The man who once pulled every string in Wendy's life is buried in debt. The woman who was silenced on camera is finally finding a voice again. And the mistress who once flaunted her soft life dreams is fading out, her glam fantasy turning into a cautionary tale whispered online. But underneath it all, something bigger's brewing, a reckoning not just for Kevin Hunter, but for everyone who fed on Wendy Williams' fame while pretending to protect her. And you gotta wonder, what happens when the woman everyone counted out finally gets her say? Could Wendy's freedom be the plot twist that brings down everyone who cashed in on her pain? Or will the same forces that silenced her once rush to shut her down again? This story is far from over, it's just heating up. Stay tuned, because the drama surrounding Wendy Williams is still unfolding, and it's getting messier by the minute. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, share, and subscribe to Star Watch, because you don't want to miss what happens next.